Welcome back to Empyrion. My name is 10 Bulls to Mars. Last time, finally created an SV. The first thing I want to do is put a small constructor into this. That's going to require some exotic resources. Not that I remember what they are. If I go here and filter to small vehicles, I would guess I haven't even unlocked it yet. Here we go. The Mobile Constructor SV requires 50 cobalt alloy. I have one, and I have some ore. And the alloy itself requires, let's see, 3 ingot plus some iron to make 5 of them. So I need 30 ingots. I actually only need 15 ore. I need 1 more cobalt ore, which is not that annoying because I can now get to the moon, and presumably, as this is a starter planet, the moon has cobalt. I can check on my way with the magic of cruise control. If we go here and go to the planet view info panel, we can check out the Itefagor moon. Oh, it doesn't have moons. Alright, let's pause this. We did make it out to space, you know, there's always asteroids. There's always asteroids. So let's confirm this. Yeah, I am on a planet with no moon. That's interesting. I've already discovered an orbital trading station. Let's see. Does the planet itself have any cobalt that I'm not thinking about? If we check here, I've got iron, silicon, copper. Oh, it does have cobalt deposits. Well, there you go. Instead, new plan. Use the amazing power of the SV detector to find some of these cobalt deposits. I have an enemy troop transport approaching, which is probably something my base can take care of by itself, even if the cell remains loaded. I'm going to level out, point straight east, and start doing some exploring. I'll check in if anything interesting happens. Discovered a new POI, Hongo. That's new to me. This looks like a basic survival type of base. It's got some solar panels. If it's unoccupied, it's probably lootable. But at this point, there's a small risk that these POIs are involved in the story mission somewhere. So I'm going to try not to destroy it too much. Well, that's a nice find. Looks like we got a solar capacitor, some panels, some parts. I'll see if there's a chest around. Other than that, just looks to be a basic wreckage type of POI. Nice, got a ventilator. Yeah, I could see this being useful early game, but being out here in the mountains, technically mountains_1, is what this biome is called. That can be a little dangerous early game. But it's nice to know there are things out here, you know? If you were desperate for some food, you'd find some canned meat and a flashlight. That's pretty funny. It's just more trash to carry around, but you know what? I can dump it in a blueprint for 1/10 of an iron or whatever it's worth. No oxygen in the tank. I don't see any other chests, but... here we go. Some grow plots. That is nice to have. Steel grow plots will save me some resources in the future. Yeah, or I could just get parts for them. I guess I should core a place like this if I'm going to do it. Oh look! It has a core. Public faction core. That is interesting. So can I just change that? Does that make things retrievable? Let's try with this console here. Yeah, I got a console out of that. I mean, it's never conclusive. Grabbing a ventilator, grabbing full steel blocks. Apparently just dropped the entire roof. Yeah, okay. Maybe they've made it easier to just change the core when you get in here. Let's grab a large... Oh, it's a small O2 tank and a capacitor. and I'm probably running out of space on me. I do have this giant cargo vehicle with me, which is looking pretty nice at night. But I don't think I have a lot of need for these things, like I mentioned. Lots of early game focused stuff. I'll take the solar panel, why not? Inventory full. So at this point, we'll make use of space truck. Yeah, we got 10,000 in here, and I'll show you in just a second. This is a CPU limitation device. It actually has room for a lot more storage than that. Let's put these things in the fridge, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, and try to pick up this solar panel as well. I'll put that in the main container controller. You'll notice it's an ammo controller. Just a way to save on devices on the drop-down. In the back here, this version of the space truck is expandable for storage, but it's at its CPU limit. It's actually warm inside the back here because this is part of the ventilated chamber. So you can see these container extensions. You could add way more, but the CPU is at 12,982. When you add the mobile constructor and upgrade the windows to armored glass, that goes just above 15K for, I want to say, 99 or 97% CPU efficiency. So that's the reason that the volume is relatively low. Well, lower than it could be. 10,000 is pretty high for a starter SV, for a tier 2 SV like this is. But could be higher. Could be higher on a planet like this where the gravity, I want to say it's about 0.5. Find that here, yeah, 0.53 gravity means I have a whole lot of spare lifting capacity. I could lift 230 tons. I mean, that's crazy. I've already put solar panel and stuff into this. I can check. Yeah, I've got 6 tons of cargo in there already. 230 is a lot, in my opinion, for a small vehicle, and for a small vehicle where you can do that in every direction. 42 down, left and right, only 36 up, so up is the only direction where I've sacrificed, and that's only a tiny bit. So, you know, just a little bit of showing off there. I've been using this SV design for my single-player games, and I've been pretty happy with it. It's only gone through a couple small updates to change the signal logic and things like that. So I'm going to keep exploring. I found a couple more resources, but I haven't found that cobalt yet. What a beautiful sight. That looks really nice. This is one of the first vehicles I made where the cockpit view is actually enjoyable. And I think, just like my base, the floor-to-ceiling windows are responsible for that. Nothing beats floor-to-ceiling windows for visibility. Okay, I figured it out eventually. I was looking at the resource map for space. So I've done a lot of exploring, but there's no cobalt on the planet. Luckily, there's cobalt out here somewhere. I'm going to explore. It doesn't look like a huge amount of asteroids and stuff out here. So I'll come back to you when I find the cobalt. We'll get some of that. We'll get a constructor for this SV. It's looking good so far. You know, iron, magnesium, a whole lot of deposits on the planet, too, for iron and silicon and copper. I'm not going to run out of promethium anytime soon. So, I'm feeling pretty secure. I think I'll probably try to start setting up a space station for myself by the end of the episode, assuming I find that cobalt asteroid. I'm running out of asteroids here. There we go. Just in time. Alright, let's check this out. I can actually show off the primary design of this vehicle, which is inside the vehicle drone mining. Staying nice and warm. Look at this. There. All the cobalt I'll ever need. There we go. So you just walk to the nose here, and I've made it just tall enough that as long as you're not, floating 6 inches off the ground, there we go. Just get out here, make sure I'm connected, and get a whole lot of mining done. Yeah, that'll tide me over for a while. I can always come back. I'm going to finish exploring this system, because that's just what I do when I get an SV. I explore everything, and then I ignore most of it. So I will check in with you back at the base. We'll get a constructor going for this thing. Well, it's good to be back. Find this thing in one piece. I have more cobalt than I'll need for at least half an episode. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about my plan to start packing up and moving out to a space station by the end of this episode. I came back with more fuel than when I left. I basically explored the whole planet on half a tank. It helps that half a tank is actually 3 full-size fuel tanks. Obviously, this wasn't a looting run, I was just there for the cobalt. But I did mark a ton of lootable sites for when I need engines and things for Neo and whatever other materials I need if I end up using this planet as a basis to build a capital ship. We'll see. I like not having explicit goals right now. If I get any subscribers, they can tell me what my explicit goals should be. You become my 2nd and 3rd subscriber, you can just dictate the series. How about that? That is some nice painful hail. I guess some kind of awning over the driveway would be a good idea. Not necessarily a covered hangar. This is coming along nice. Tons and tons of plant protein. I'm not really looking to upgrade all my farming infrastructure right now for reasons of I'm moving out very soon. But it's a good feeder stock. You need vegetables to make more saplings, but at least with the plant protein I can get a whole lot of food. Need a few more of these just to take out and about with me. I noticed a lot of looting opportunities, but apart from the one that had a core in it, I had limited ability to grab things that I want. So just for the future, I like to keep a few cores on the truck. Oh, I lost some parts, didn't I? Lost my ramp here. Yep. So there is some truck fixing in order. I don't have the tech for ramps. Oh, good timing, guys. Good timing. Alright, forget this. Out to the hail again. Let's try to help the base out so I don't have to spend so much time repairing this time. Where are you coming from? Alright, let's try out this truck as a combat vehicle. I have 4 Gatling guns and a whole lot of bullets. There we go. Get some. Yeah, alright. Try a 3rd-person view. Mid-combat camera adjustment. Copyright. 10 bullets to Mars. No, this isn't working. This is a cockpit that's a work of art. 1st person. Let's take you. Bam. You're done. Who's next? Whoa. Let's take you. Looks like I got a little crack in the glass. Come on, dude. Come on. You get a penalty for hugging your opponent like that. Who's left? I don't mean to do that. The weather is not helping here. There we go. Am I done? Where's my message? We're done. I'm too far from the base to get the defense message. That's fine. That's fine. Let's do a little looting. And then we can do our repairs and see if there's more repairs to do. Well, the plus side is no longer hailing. Well, take it back. It's dark in here. Let's fix that. That did not work. I think you have a long range on this selection. Yeah, there we go. 10 to 15? Yeah. Yeah, it'll make the snow outside blue, but it's necessary in here. Yep, super long range. 15? Yeah, much better. Dark hallway? I think that's alright. Let's get... I had nothing building. I didn't even finish making the research happen. I think I need ramps and a few blocks and that constructor. Unload some of my loot here. I keep getting more fuel than I leave with. It's crazy. That's why I put the 3 tanks on. I thought that thing would eat gas, but it doesn't. Like a future truck. Let's get ramps. Yeah, move the cores over. Before I forget, make some more stuff. Get some blocks. What else was it? Get that ramp that I need. And I still haven't unlocked the constructor. Let's get that. Where is it? Mobile constructor. Small constructor, mobile constructor, portable constructor. I feel bad for them because it's hard to name those 3 identical things. I actually see the problem that they were experiencing. Oh, this is great. Short on silicon, but I think I got enough to get this done. Alright, what kind of armor do I want on here? Let's check the other side. Got triangles all the way down. And then that pyramid with the flat side. I'll find it, bear with me. You. I think it's this? Get it pointing the right way. Let's get back to this ramp. Oh no, that's the wrong pyramid, isn't it? Yeah, it's the cut-off one. Let's finish this up, get a trapezoid in there. And then this guy has to go. Yeah, that one. Good as new. A few dents here and there. Something's missing up top. What is that? Triangle block around the truss. Yeah, that little decorative truss. Gonna have to make one of those. Let's get you in there. That's gonna be it, just the truss and the ramp is here. Cool. Let's fix the signal on this. Oh, which one is the one that this responds to? How did I set this up? Let's check the motion sensor. Yeah, they both go to ramp. So ramp is the one it responds to. Inverted. Opposite of the door. Can I test that? No, the lever's overriding it. I can't test it. Flick. No, drones don't have hands. Gotta remember that. Drones don't have hands. And they can hold all your tools. They should have hands. There's nothing else. There's some damage to repair. Let's paint this thing up. The trick to this is to use the dark color. And then it shows up this kind of tolerable brightness where you can still make out the lines between the squares and stuff like that. Alright, constructor's ready to go. I'm still going to need a truss to replace the one that was blown off. That was fast. Cool. Let's grab our parts and get back up there. Pretty sure the hail is over, but, you know, it's cold. Nice and warm inside here. Get to watch my farm. Oh, about to remove 3 trusses. I guess I should have thought of that. This one's actually running on my core, if you remember my problem from last episode. Cool, so I need to put a couple of those back. Let's get the constructor in here. Now we're talking. Whoops. Get that black again. Truss goes up here. Where's my truss? Yeah, give me that. One of the triangle corner thingies. Bam. When you're painting these, you gotta remember to do full block. Yeah, good as new. Let's do full block for that, because it's going to be hard to get to the top and the bottom. And there you go, it's the dark red. The bright one is just basically a light strip. Whereas this has more features to it, you know? That should be it. Just some repairs for the dented blocks. Check the signal here. What's wrong with this? I gotta flip the lever off. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's weird things with them not activating, but then activating when you leave the field. That's why I've been hopping in and out to try to reset it. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Save the template. Even though I don't have a repair bay, this is what I should have done. Yep. Let's time-lapse this. You don't want to watch all this. Alright. Ready to do some more trucking. I just feel it's worth mentioning. In a world with no copyright, I wouldn't have any narration in this episode. I would just be playing the song on repeat. I shouldn't say this, but pause this, look up the song Come On Space Truckin'. There's a time when space truckin' really meant something. Last thing I really want to do is check my resources here. Low on iron, really low on silicon. Could do with some more promethium too. So I'm going to take the truck out, do some planetary resource runs, just get my stockpiles up a little bit so that next project I embark on can start out on a really good footing. I'll be back. Alright, I've really cleaned this planet up, and it's just kind of dawned on me that I can do this. I have a ton of resources, I'm going to need more stone probably for the concrete at some point, but fuel isn't a problem. Resources aren't really a problem. I can do this, you know? The plan was not play the whole game, get to the end game, make a super cool space station. The plan is just that I live in this cold, inhospitable place, and I could live in a actually slightly safer, cold, inhospitable place. I've got infinite ice to make oxygen out of, so what have I got to lose, really? I'm going to get some initial resources together. Not resources, but rather the things you need to start up a base. I'm going to get a generator, fuel tank, that sort of thing, so that, at least in the first trip, I can hopefully create something solid and maybe not ventilated, but at least capable of holding some supplies while I continue to expand it. So let's start by looking in the base parts box and seeing if I've got anything to start out with. I actually do. Let's put that away before it spoils. Let's get to the truck, container controller, and I'll probably skip the capacitor for now because setting up solar panels facing the sun is going to be a separate deal later on. But it's good to start with a small O2 tank, a ventilator, kind of make something like the bunker that I've got downstairs in this base so that this base can exist and support itself. You know what I mean? Let's get a few concrete blocks to start, and actually I'm not sure how much weight I'm going to have, but I will grab as much stone and concrete as I can. We'll see how that goes. So I have the O2 tank, I have a ventilator. I'm going to need more than that, obviously. And first I'm going to need to fight off the Xerax. It's basically a constant thing. One of the reasons I'm eager to get out of here. Although the loot's nice. Let's see, off to the north. Don't see him yet. There you are. Troop transport. That's actually way easier to fight off than a bunch of rocket drones. Make short work of this guy with the help of my miniguns. That was the easiest raid I've ever had. Nice. It's like the game wants me to get back to business. Actually a pretty good haul from that guy. I saw some medicine. Oh, look at the player, yeah. 3 antitoxic ointment, plasma cannon, and a pulse rifle. That is pretty nice. I will take it. Just put this in the fridge. Well, I won't make you watch me organize my inventory. 1 second. Okay, here's what I was actually working on. Was getting a new bunker together to set this place up. I want a small generator, small fuel tank, probably skip the food processor in the fridge for now as I do my initial setup. I will go ahead and get a wireless, a few cargo boxes, an ammo box. I need a core. Well, I have cores. I need a base starter. So let's move one of the cores into the constructor box. From here. And that'll allow me to make a base starter without having to make another core. And I do want to do a base starter because that lets me use concrete, even though I'm building in space. What do I want next? It would be nice to take a large constructor and do some building on site there. And a couple of minigun turrets, just to allow this thing to protect itself off the bat. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and make a couple thousand more of these, just so I've got plenty of supply. And is there anything else, especially under devices, is where I tend to miss things. No, I think I'll hold off on the food processor in the fridge. I'm going to need a tier 2 CPU pretty soon, because large concrete structures actually tend to eat up CPU points, annoyingly enough. I need flux coils for that, which means more neodymium than I have. So very soon I'm either going to have to start trading with Polaris or killing more iron golems. Not iron golems. Wrong game. Snow golems. Yeah, I don't see anything else I want here. Apart from, taking some extra material to make fuel. Definitely. Not too much of it. And yeah, a little bit of starter materials is a good thing to have on you when you're making a new base. I'll take about a third. I guess that makes a quarter. So about a quarter of what I have to start out, just in case I have security problems. The turrets take up a whole lot of volume, so I'm only going to take one of those for now. A little bit of extra ammo, and then I can use the rest of this cargo space on concrete. I'm actually pretty satisfied for a first trip. A little bit of extra stone, and then, of course, any of the resource asteroids in space will also provide a whole lot of stone. Yeah, I don't think there's any more reason to wait. I will take this, and I will go and scout a location. I have a plan in mind, so I'll meet you there. And here I am. And you can look in the top right, see my coordinates are at 0, 0, negative a lot. That's because I'm right under the south pole of the planet. Now, bear with me. The reason for building at either the north or the south pole is easy access to everything else in the system, which you may notice is kind of on a disk around 0. So let's say I'm over here, and I want to get here. You got to pass over either the north or the south pole, or go around the planet. So what this is a very easy way to remember where you are, to get home, to access things, to access whatever asteroids you want, to get in and out of the system, and to get up to the planet. I also know that my base is on the southern hemisphere. So where it is over there, that's as far as it's ever going to be. It will basically circle around above my head right there and never be too far away from the space station. You also have uninterrupted access to the sun. I've made the mistake before of thinking that this game followed an orbital mechanics model and realizing that I was never going to get into view of the sun. So if I want to do solar, this is the way to do it. Now, something very important to keep in mind if you're building a space station is that the way you put the core is the way the station is going to orient. But if you orient it anyway, then it's kind of hard to land because you have a trick for landing, which is holding O, auto-leveling. That works in space. If you know what I'm talking about, I'm probably boring you right now. But if you don't, it's pretty important to be able to come to your landing pad, press O, auto-level, and go straight down onto your landing pad. Oh, that's a core. I actually need my base starter. Also, apparently a lot of radiation here. Good to know. Yeah, I call that flat relative to the sun. I got 3.3 rads out here. It's going to be a challenge to build this. I'm going to have to do it by drone until I have an interior space to stand in, but that's alright. Now, I did a lot of base building last episode, so if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to do some cuts and some progress updates instead of showing the entire process, which is really just dragging concrete in a straight line. There's nothing nearly as complicated about base building in space compared to on the side of a cliff. Okay, turns out it is kind of complicated. I'm probably just going to retry this entire thing because turns out I was relatively flat, but I wasn't aligned with the sun. And I completely blanked on the proper way to do this, which is using auto-level with your character. Yeah, that's what I was missing. So, face the sun, hit O, everything is done for you. Yeah, let's just forget that the whole thing happened. I've only ever had one space station, okay guys? So you know what you're looking at here. basically a bunker design. I've got a little boring concrete room, got my constructor, some chests, a core. I mean, it's better than my last bunker, but what's this? It's another floor. Maybe we're looking at a skyscraper here. What's this? There's another floor. Yeah, I had a lot of crushed stone. I had all the crushed stone I want. The constructor's churning away, so it's a matter of time. But then, here's the kicker. You come out here, there's nothing. Because the landing pad is at 90 degrees. Yeah, that I mean, it just looks like a wall to you. There you go. Now it looks like a landing pad. So all this auto-leveling stuff I've been talking about comes into play here. This is the big gimmick of this space station. The landing pad is auto-alignment aligned, but the inside of the building is sideways relative to that. In a way that, I forgive you if it doesn't make sense to you, because, look, I'm coming in upside down. It doesn't make sense to me yet. I'll get there. There will be windows and, things that make it obvious which way the base goes. But for now, yeah, it's actually harder to build than I thought it would be. And looking a little bit like a, concrete rectangle right now. But trust me, there's a vision. I don't know if you've seen my face. Bam. 10 Bull's face. No oxygen face. Do I look bothered by lack of oxygen? A little bit. There, you see the shape of this coming together? Still a little bit confusing what's a wall, what's a floor, and actually I won't fix that for a little while because I don't have access to a gravity generator. But the direction of the door should make that more obvious. So I am pretty happy with how this is coming along. If you stand here, you're basically going to be looking up sideways at the landing pad and then south pole of the planet. How about that? I don't know what you call it. It's Antarctica, but the whole planet's Antarctica. Anyway, a little basic maybe, but yeah, this is what it's for. It's just that gimmick of up and out and the planet and not knowing which way is up, and all of that confusion is relieved by the fact that you can just come in and press O to land. And then you come into the door and hit J for your jetpack, and then you're standing on the floor, and it's all done for you. Soon. For now, it's a little complicated for flying around. But I like the look. I like the view. I like the shape of this window. It's all coming together kind of like I planned. Which is, not what happens all the time. You see the CPU coming up. I don't even have a second constructor on there or anything. It's just these concrete blocks. They add up. They definitely add up. So the foot here faces the sun directly, in line with the core. Kind of hard to picture right now, but it's going to make it easy to put solar panels on in the future. Which I don't typically do. I usually don't bother solar powering my bases. Because there's just so much fuel in the world, and it just feels like the right thing to do, to tear up resources and burn them. But I might try it this time. I might go for sustainability. And here's the weird thing. I thought there would be some base attacks. There's no information here. Even though they've done a better job of putting Xerax stations into space with this update and things like that. Maybe I just won't get attacked. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. If escaping the planet satisfies them, it satisfies them. Yeah. See here? I'm just looking straight across the landing pad, aligned with the plane of the world. But what's this? 90 degrees forward, and I'm inside of a room, standing the right way up. I go down. That's right. Huge farm. I go up. Well, I already showed you this, but there's a few rooms here. Right now, one is set up as a bunker, but I will be able to reorganize this and expand it at will. And then you come out here, you have to flip 90 degrees for the landing pad, and you see the sideways farm and stuff. I think it's coming along pretty cool. It needs my trademark light strips and stuff like that, but I like it so far. I'm actually getting the hang of how to turn when I get in here, which is a nice touch. Gravity generator will make all the difference in the end, though. And then you can look up along the landing pad. I love it. So I have some plants here. Upside down, right side up. Cannot grow here. I'm oxygenated. I'm warm. I got lights. I got grow plots. I've grown plants in space before. You probably have too. Okay, we got a little bit of a problem. I'll figure it out. I got this cool base. What's starvation for a guy with a cool pad like this? Well, with that awesome cliffhanger, gonna call it an episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I'm 10 Bulls to Mars, and I hope to see you next time.